Today's exercise, we're going to go over a hamstring flexibility and mobility exercise that we like to give to patients who are suffering from focal spots of tightness in their hamstring muscles or just generalized tightness of their hamstrings. Now, we like this version of it because it keeps the back in a very safe position and it stretches only the hamstring muscle, so it's a very isolated stretch. A problem that I see a lot of in the other types of hamstring stretches, whether it's seated or a standing position, is that people will hold their leg out and then they're going to get into a hamstring stretch like so. But what often happens is that they're sacrificing their lower back to get that extra range of motion. So they're not getting as good of a stretch to their hamstring, and they're putting a lot of strain through their back or just increasing their low back flexibility, which may or may not be beneficial for that patient. The other thing that this position will do is when you're bending forward and trying to touch the toes like this, it puts a lot of tension from the nerves in the back all the way down to the toes, so it tenses the sciatic nerve. And if you're having sciatic nerve symptoms or nerve type symptoms down the leg, that this stretch, sometimes it does feel good when you're doing it, but then afterwards it's going to cause a lot more symptoms, or it's going to prolong the recovery from that injury that's causing those sciatic type symptoms. So the stretch that we like and is relatively safe for most patients is to lay on your back like so, and then the side that you're going to stretch, you're going to pull the thigh towards your chest, keeping the hands on the back of the thigh like this. And then from this position, you're going to just straighten out the leg until you feel a stretch into the hamstring musculature here. So you're going to take it in and out of that range of motion and back. And then because there's different muscles of the hamstring muscle group, that we want to try to address all of those. So we're going to take this stretch through different ranges of motion to address the other parts of the muscle. So again, you're going to start dead on here, and then you're going to open up the stretch out a few degrees, and then you're going to do a stretch in this position. And then you can take it out a little bit further, keeping the thigh up towards your chest, straighten out the leg until you feel that stretch in the mid part of the hamstrings there. Now, the further you go out, you're going to feel more of a stretch in the medial hamstrings, or the inner part of the hamstrings here. Now, if you're trying to address the outside hamstrings, you're going to bring the leg across midline. So what that looks like is pulling the knee towards the chest, bringing it across midline first, and then you're going to straighten out the leg. So then that's going to get right into that outside portion of the hamstring. Really effective for some IT band cases or patients suffering some other types of outside knee pain. So you can take it way over like this and really stretch out that outer part of the hamstring there. So again, we like that exercise because it isolates the hamstring muscles, and then you can go through the various ranges of motion and you can isolate different portions of the hamstring. So if you get into a portion that feels really tight, then you can focus on that area because you know that that's where most of your restriction is coming from. If you go through some of those other areas, don't feel much tightness, then don't worry about it. Just try it out, don't feel the tightness, move on to the next area, see if you feel more tension in that position.